Hello and welcome to this course on affiliate recruiting. In this course, we're going to cover how to skyrocket your traffic and sales by recruiting affiliates. This course is divided into 3 modules. Module 1 covers creating a JV or affiliate page. Module 2 covers posting on popular JV hubs and launch calendars. And Module 3 covers one-on-one recruiting. By the time this course is over, you'll know how to effectively rally an army of affiliates to send traffic to your offers. So without further ado, let's dive into the first module. Okay guys, welcome to Module 1. In this module, our expert will be teaching you about creating a JV or affiliate page, which will be the foundation of your recruiting efforts. So get ready to take some notes and let's jump right in.
Alright guys, so for this lesson, I figured the best way to break down what needs to go into your JV page is to dissect a couple of existing ones. So we'll be looking at a JV page for a very popular product launch in the internet marketing niche called Niche Marketing Kit. This is a hard launch, meaning it has a specific date associated with it, but it's also a recurring one, meaning they relaunch it every year. Then we're going to look at evergreen launches, evergreen JV pages by a company called Promote Labs, who has a whole lot of software solutions also in the digital marketing and online business niche. So first things first, you need to treat your JV page like a sales page. And the customers in this case, or the equivalent of customers, are the affiliates. You need to be selling your JVs or affiliates on this launch. You want them to promote. You want them to send traffic from their email lists or their blogs or their audiences to your sales page. You've got to sell them on it. You've got to treat your launch as though it's a product that you're selling to them. What do I mean by that? The copy. It's just like a sales page. You need a headline that catches their attention and tells them why they should promote your product. You should ideally have a video. All right, I'm not going to play this video, but it's kind of a funny, attention-getting, goofy video inviting people and reminding them what all the benefits are of joining this launch. And I want to mention something because there's a lot of instances on this page and other pages of affiliate and JV being used interchangeably. And I want to clarify something. Traditionally, if you're being really orthodox, the phrase JV or joint venture partner means somebody who goes in on a launch with you, on a product and the sales process with you, and actually gets a percentage of the profits after marketing and affiliate costs and advertising costs. So technically that would be an actual partner in your business, sort of co-launching or co-creating or co-selling a product alongside you, and not one of the affiliates. However, because there's a little bit of nuance and similarity there, it just became popular many years ago to start referring to affiliates as JVs because they are doing marketing for you and they're getting a percentage of the sale. It's not really correct. If you really want to be legalistic about it, it's not the best two phrases to be using interchangeably because the phrase joint venture partner still also retains its correct original meaning. But just be aware that in most cases, especially in internet marketing, JV and affiliate are used interchangeably, and when somebody says JV, they're referring to sales affiliates. So now that that's out of the way, we can continue down the line here. First off, after the video, we see the date. This is very important to get the date out there and clear to the affiliates because you want them to do what? You want them to clear their calendar. You want them to go literally into their little Google Calendar and put a little mark there, annotate that, in this case, John and Dave are having a launch this week and I want to promote it. Okay? If it's not in their calendar, the thing about a lot of affiliates, if you're dealing with affiliates, especially in the internet marketing niche, is they're lazy. All right? That's a known thing. They're lazy. That's why they're internet marketers, because they don't want to do work. Now, I say that a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but it's true. It's very hard to make sure that affiliates are galvanized and reminded about your launch. So you've got to make sure that they actually commit to it and put it on their calendar. And the best way to do that is to put the date front and center and emphasize it in the actual video itself. Now, another thing here is proof. Now, since this is a recurring launch, this is going to be presented in a way that usually you cannot do. They have launched before, and it did rather well, as you can see. And so they are able to use screenshots like this to show, hey, the launch is proven. This launch in its next iteration will do well again. And that's very powerful. So if you're relaunching a product that you've already launched in the past, let's say you've updated it a little bit and you're relaunching it, or if you're launching the next in a series of products that are all related, part of sort of a franchise, using past data can be a good way to get affiliates on board and assure them that they're going to have success if they choose to send traffic to your offer. Because you got to keep in mind, for affiliates, it's an opportunity cost. If your offer doesn't perform very well, well, that means for that 2 or 3 or 5 day period that they were promoting it, they could have been promoting someone else the entire time and making more money. It's an opportunity cost, and it's a risk every time they choose to promote your launch instead of someone else's. So you really want to make them feel comfortable about taking that leap and doing yours. Now, the next big thing here is the big fat affiliate link button. You click this, it'll take you to JVZoo, and you'll be able to request an affiliate link for this offer. This has got to be the front and center item, okay? You'll notice they also have another button down here because they want affiliates added to an email list so that they can recruit those affiliates more easily in the future and bring them back to more product launches. But it's less important than getting them to click and get that affiliate link, because once an affiliate clicks and requests an affiliate link, it's sort of locked in their head. They're much less likely to forget about your launch or to put it on the back burner. So the next area here is a diagram of the funnel. You want to make sure affiliates can clearly see what they're making money on, how much, what the commission is, and what the earning potential is on the entire funnel. Because they're going to add this up and they're going to say, hey, for every single person I send through, I could potentially make, if they were to buy everything, I could potentially make X amount of dollars. Okay, and that earning potential is huge. In this case, it's $285 up to $285 per sale in commission. All right, so the diagram is very important, and preferably a breakout like they've got here where they actually have some copy explaining all the different steps and what the offers are on those different steps. Okay, because affiliates want to know what those OTO offers are. They want to know. They don't just want to know that there is a product that they'll make $27 on. They're excited about that, but they also want to know what that product is. They want to be able to come down here and say, oh, okay, it's 50 Premier Websites special offer. That's what it is. Does that kind of make sense? So moving right along, the next area is sort of the toot your horn section. If you have promoted products in the past and you did well and you're on leaderboards, then you want one of these sections. This tells them that if they scratch your back, they can come and ask you to scratch theirs, and you'll actually do quite well in doing so. You can promote their products and make a lot of sales. Now, you might not have this, but if you have a record of sales, total gross sales over the course of X amount of time, you can provide that data as well. And worst case scenario, if you're starting out from scratch, you might just have to start with nothing. Okay? And in place of this, you can put a commitment, an offer to say, hey, I will place your offers in my autoresponder so that my new buyers who get added to my list will, within X amount of days, be promoted to your offer. Okay, that could stand in this section here and have a similar effect. But as soon as you do start appearing on some leaderboards, make sure you take some screenshots and get those on your promotional pages, or on your JV and affiliate pages, excuse me. Now, next we've got promotional tools. These are a must-have. Because affiliates are lazy, which we already discussed, they don't want to have to sit there writing email copy for day after day after day for each day of your launch. Many of them will. Many of them who take their job very seriously will do that from scratch. They'll read your sales material, they'll check out your product and try it out themselves and write their own stuff from scratch. Many only want your swipes and will only use the swipes and maybe just change 1 or 2 things in it. But most people are in the middle. Okay, between those two extremes. Most people are going to use your swipes at least for inspiration, or they'll actually take them and just heavily edit them to make them sort of match their own writing style, because when they write to their email list, their list recognizes who's writing because they have a certain writing style. Now, the other thing is banners. A lot of people do like using banners in their members areas. They post these to social media. They can stick them in blog sidebars or in the header of their blog. And some people even run advertising campaigns, pay-per-click advertising campaigns with these banners. So if you can create and provide banners for your affiliates, that's a huge plus. Lots of variations there that people can use. And then you've got the contest. Contest is super important for getting those big name JVs and big name affiliates on, because many of them only promote things based on the contests, because they know that they can take that first or second spot. And if they can take first or second place, they want to know how much money they'll make just for getting first and second place, regardless of the commission that they earn. There are affiliates like that out there towards the top of the ladder. Okay, so if you have a contest with big prizes, big cash prizes, make sure you're advertising that here. And then finally, down here at the bottom, you've got the prize leaderboard. This, because this hasn't launched yet, this is an upcoming date, there is not a live leaderboard feed here, but a lot of JV pages don't even have this. Okay, a lot of JV pages expect people just to go to JVZoo or Pay Kickstart or whatever the affiliate marketplace is and see the leaderboard being updated there. But some people do have special software or plugins that will auto-update a feed of the leaderboard here, and that way affiliates can keep coming back to your JV page to see where they rank on the leaderboard. It's not super common these days, but that does exist. And then finally, at the very bottom, we've got the signature and contact information. Get in touch with us if you need anything at all. That's huge. Affiliates want to know that you're going to be available when they need things. There's nothing more annoying than being an affiliate for someone who's launching a product and you need something. You need swipes, or you have a question about the OTO, or you have a customer who's having trouble accessing, and the vendor who you are promoting for is not able to get back to you or is dismissive. Okay, so you want to make sure that your JVs/affiliates know that you're going to be there for them, and that you will be able to help them out with anything that they need. So this, once again, was for an actual launch with a hard date. Now let's have a look at affiliate pages for products that are evergreen, meaning they're just in a normal mode of constant selling. Okay, there isn't a specific date or a contest or anything like that. Most of these began at one point as a launch. Okay, most products are launched with a hard launch date in the manner that we just saw, and then afterwards they go into evergreen status. Promote Labs here has a bunch of software solutions that are in evergreen mode, have been around for years. Let's have a look at Post Gopher. We'll just look at one of these. And you'll notice it's a much shorter affiliate page, affiliate recruiting page. Why? Because there's no hard date, so there's no contest. There's no launch contest because it's not a launch, right? And you could put a reciprocation section on your evergreen affiliate recruiting page if you wanted to. The thing is, there's two reasons why we're not seeing one here. Number one, this is unique to Promote Labs, and that is that they are Promote Labs. So everyone in the industry already knows that these guys can do damage on leaderboards. They don't have to have a do we reciprocate section. It's not necessary for Promote Labs because of their name recognition and who they are. Okay, they don't have to sell that aspect. The other aspect, though, is evergreen. Do you really want to commit to people on an ongoing, constant basis, just in the background, to scratching their back if they scratch yours, if this is just in an evergreen mode and you've got, potentially hundreds of people coming to this page and sticking your product into their email autoresponders? Do you want them knocking on your door saying, hey, on your page you said you reciprocate, and I promoted your product for a couple of days, last month, will you promote my launch? You owe me. So for evergreen, it makes a little bit less sense to have one of those reciprocation sections. But let's have a look at what we do have for this evergreen page. First off, there is the little header or banner up here. This actually clicks through to the sales page in this case, so affiliates can see the sales page. But the big thing here, of course, is the affiliate link. And in this case, they're using Pay Kickstart, which is another excellent marketplace and affiliate marketing platform. And then we've got a description of the earning potential of the funnel. Okay, $85 per sale potentially, with across the board 50% commissions. And then we have an explanation of what the product is. Okay. Then we've got a live view of the sales page that they can click on here. And affiliates can use that to write their own copy if they want to, or just get a feel for what it is that they're writing. And we've got an actual diagram of the funnel right here. Then we've got these copy and paste email swipes. This is pretty fancy. It's one of the accordion style, expanding lists. Email 2, send on day 2. Email 6, send on day 6. So here they're actually prepping them and encouraging them to set up a full 7-day long automated campaign. And they're giving them each email that they need for each day of that campaign. Not everybody's going to come and do that, but you might as well plan for it and do what you can to accommodate that. Banner ads. As you can see, based on the shape here, they're really going for not just people maybe sticking this in the bottom of an email and in their blog post. They've made these so that they're perfect variations of size and shape to be used for PPC. Okay, you'll see this one says actually terrific for Twitter. Blog sidebar. Perfect for Pinterest, tall. Facebook carousels. Instagram style photo. Ready-made bonus page. This one's pretty cool. They have their own software in this case where you can actually grab their Commission Gorilla software and then upload their done-for-you bonus to it, and you've got a URL that you can send your traffic to where you're offering a bunch of bonuses that you didn't have to create to people if they buy this product through your link. Now, that's Promote Labs, and they happen to have that right there. You don't need that. You can still provide bonuses, and you can provide like a WordPress template and say, hey, here's an easy done-for-you bonus to offer your subscribers if they buy through your link. And that's a great way to galvanize and encourage people to promote for you if you're giving them something that they can use as an incentive to their list. And then finally, affiliate terms and conditions, saying what not to do. Basically, don't be a jerk, don't spam people, and keep the stupid spammy cliche stuff out of your subject line. Don't do the PPC thing or the SEO campaign thing where you use the word scam next to the product name, which is popular among affiliates. They think it's sort of a reverse psychology thing, and it might be, but for the 90% of people who don't click and just see that ad, they associate the word scam with your brand. So you got to keep in mind, affiliates, when they're out there promoting your stuff, they're also reflecting and representing your brand, and they can do a lot of damage to your brand if you don't make it clear what the rules are. So this is an important section, and you don't usually see it as visible, this section here. I recommend you take Promote Labs example and make sure that your affiliates know what you do and do not want them doing in their marketing. So that's it, guys. We've got 2 different types of affiliate recruiting pages. We've got one for a launch with a hard date, which is this one. As you can see, it's all about getting the hype and the galvanization and all that good stuff up for a specific date. And then we've got the slightly more laid-back evergreen style, just getting people on an evergreen basis, no big rush, to add your product to their promotions throughout the year, either in their autoresponders or in their day-to-day newsletters. So depending on whether you're doing a launch or if you have an evergreen product, you need to be modeling your JV pages in this same exact way. And you need to keep in mind that principle that we talked about at the beginning, which is that you need to sell to your affiliates. You're selling them on the idea that it will be beneficial to them to promote your product. You've got to treat it just like a sales page. All right, so now we've done this. Next, we're going to go and see where we can actually post your launch to get some eyeballs on it and get people coming to your affiliate recruiting page.
Hey folks, welcome to Module 2. In this module, our expert will be showing you how to post on popular JV hubs and launch calendars. So get ready to take some notes and let's jump right in.
All right, so here we've got a couple of different launch notification boards or calendars, as they're often referred to, okay? And this basically is a place to come to tell people, hey, I have a launch happening. It's happening on this date. Here's some of the basic information about it. For example, the commission and the price and what the topic is. Please come to my JV page. That's really what this comes down to. So basically, let's have a look at a couple of these here. Let's click on, well, since we used this one in the last example, let's click on this one, that niche marketing kit. So this is the launch posting or notification on Muncheye for that. And that is one of the things. This is one of the pages that drives traffic to that affiliate recruiting page that we were looking at earlier. If we click here, you'll notice it takes us right back to that page that we were looking at not too long ago in the previous lesson. So this is where the traffic comes from to get to your affiliate page. This is a known hub. Okay? People know to come here. Affiliates are constantly, because affiliates make their money by mailing things. So they need things to mail. So they have a couple of hubs, and we're going to be looking at the two biggest. One is Muncheye, the other is JV Notify Pro. They have a couple of hubs that they come to regularly to fill their calendar so that they can make money. And so basically, this can vary. You'll see some people who just put a few lines here about their launch, and then their main emphasis is the link to their JV page, because that's where they really want them going. But in this case, John and Dave are taking kind of a smarter approach. And they're actually doing what we talked about in the first lesson, which is, look at that, selling on the idea of promoting this launch. They're selling. They're trying to convince them. Why should you promote? Reason number 1. Boom. Reason number 2. Boom. Okay? So they're doing a little bit of pre-selling here and making good use of this launch notification, this launch posting, as yet another marketing platform to get their message about their launch out, rather than just using it as a place to funnel traffic to their main JV page. Now, anybody can post a launch to Muncheye, and all it really takes is hitting the submit button, and then you get into a WordPress WYSIWYG editor that allows you to submit your own launch. And you put things like your date, the commission, the price, the name of the product, that sort of thing, and it'll generate a post just like the one we were just looking at for you. Now, the other thing you can do, you'll notice there's a little rotating header up here, and you'll notice some of these are highlighted in yellow. There's so many launches out there. It's easy for yours to get lost in the noise, and especially if you're just starting out and you're not a big name. So what these guys do is they allow you to advertise, and you can pay to have what's called a featured launch listing, which gets you that header at the top on the front page, on the home page, and gets your listing highlighted in yellow. And this is worth it. With absolute certainty, you will get lots of clicks to your JV page, lots of interest and affiliates signing up if you advertise on Muncheye. You can't go wrong with it. There are a lot of other places where you can post and pay to advertise your upcoming launch that I would not recommend, but I can wholeheartedly say this is a good place to spend $50 or even a few $100. And basically you would go through this process of selecting certain dates on the calendar. And this is an important part of planning too. Let's say that your launch is on the 28th of February. Well, then you would want to get, see, they have this deal going on, which I think is always there. I've seen it for years. Buy 5, get 2 free. So you're basically getting 7 days if you just spend $250. You want to plan out a good ways. You want to start letting people know roughly 30 days out. Okay? And then the following week. And then the week before the actual launch, right? And then maybe the day right before the launch. Okay, you've got to get a little bit creative. If you have the ad spend available, by all means, fill lots of days prior to your launch. Okay, but don't just put them on the days directly before your launch. Try to spread them out a little bit and get at least a couple way out, because you're appealing to different types of affiliates. There are affiliates who are really squared away, and right here on the 30th of January, they will already have decided what they are promoting for most of February. So you want those dates pretty early on before your launch starts. Okay? And then there's also the affiliates who are kind of squared away, and they plan okay, and you want that to be a week or two out. And then there's the affiliates who are super lazy, and they won't know what they're promoting until the night before or sometimes the day of. Okay? And that's when you want one very, very close to your launch date, or even on your launch date. So that's how Muncheye works. The next thing was JV Notify Pro. Now this is kind of similar. It's the same basic concept. However, their style is very different. This is a little bit more like a magazine or a periodical. Their layout. And you can tell they really prioritize the big names who paid money, which is a big deal. And this really helps you get your bang for your buck from your advertising. You don't see anything even remotely similar to Muncheye. Let's just have another look at Muncheye just so we can contrast it appropriately. You don't see a long list of just, text, names and product names that go on forever and ever and ever on JV Notify Pro until you get to the very bottom. And then you've got a bunch of names just in a list here. Okay? And some of them have little, VIP new next to it because they're maybe a monthly member. Okay? But the big ones are up here. And they're placed strategically the same way that an online magazine, an e-magazine, would strategically place the articles that they want to get seen. Okay? And it's again, the same basic concept, but a different style. Okay? And the way that JV Notify Pro works is you become a member, and for as long as you remain a paying monthly member, you earn points, and you expend those points on featured listings like that. Okay? In addition, JV Notify Pro really puts huge emphasis on their email blast. Muncheye, I think, still has an email blast, as well. However, Muncheye doesn't put nearly as much emphasis on it. My assumption is that it's not as big of a list or not as well read. In the case of JV Notify Pro, people are actually reading those emails when they get the JV Notify Pro email newsletter about upcoming launches. Okay, so that's another big asset, and you get featured in that if you choose to pay for a featured listing. And once again, it's the same basic thing. When your listing is featured, somebody clicks on it, that will bring them to your JV page. Now, this is a little bit different. This is not a listing on JV Notify Pro, although there are listings on JV Notify Pro. But this, what they actually do for the featured listings when you click to them, is they have an iframe where they have the JV Notify Pro branding up here, and then they just have your JV page underneath it, within their page, within their iframe. That's pretty neat. And there's still a link up here to discuss this launch in the JV forum. And if you click over there, that's where a listing is inside of the forum portion of JV Notify Pro, and you can get some engagement there if you want to, and you can have a lot of the more typical information in here. So that pretty much sums it up. Muncheye, JV Notify Pro, both definitely two places where you definitely want your product launch listed, and you probably want to fork over a little bit of cash as well to make sure you get the maximum benefit of posting here. Now, this is sort of mass marketing to people who are already looking for launches, and you want them to see yours and come to your JV page, but there's another side of affiliate recruiting, and that is you proactively reaching out to them individually, one-on-one, and that's what we'll cover in the next lesson.
All right, welcome to Module 3. In this module, our expert will teach you about one-on-one recruiting, which is vital if you want to get bigger name affiliates on board. So get ready to take some notes, and let's jump right in.
All right, guys, so in this lesson, we're going to be tackling one-on-one JV recruiting. So you actually proactively going out there and tackling these guys and trying to get them one-on-one. Now, the best way to start doing that is going to be to figure out who in your niche are the top dogs. Who do you want on your, what we'll talk about later, is called a headhunters list. And I personally like to always start with leaderboards. I go look for a previous launch that ended at some point in the last several months, and I go find their leaderboard. So this is for one called Commission Magnets. And what do you know? Right at the top, we've got John Thornhill and Dave Nicholson. So I immediately, as a vendor, know that, hey, wow, these guys can move some traffic. These are people who I want to reach out to. So what do I do next? I come on over here to a spreadsheet, which is my headhunters list. And I basically start compiling a list of the big name affiliates who I want to reach out to. So I'll go ahead and put John Thornhill's name in there. And the first thing I do is I start Googling and Facebooking John Thornhill to see him and to find him and see what he's all about. Now, in this case, he happens to be in my network. We're friends, so I can reach out to him with a message. So what I'm going to do is grab the Facebook URL for John, and I'm going to put it next to him right here. Okay, so basically we have name, contact info, and status. All right. Status will be blank until I reach out to him. And then, if I reach out to him, I'll just update this as message sent. And if he replies and says, maybe I'll get back to you, I'm going to put that right here. And I'm going to have a whole long list of names right here that I compile from researching who the big names are in my niche, finding out where they are and how I can contact them and reach out to them. Okay? And then keep track of how it's going. All right? For your first launch, you should go all guns blazing and get as big of a headhunters list as you possibly can. Now, when you finally reach out to someone, you need to do it in a very thoughtful manner. You can't just say, hey man, will you promote my launch? That's actually a running joke in the industry. All right, the hey bro, will you promote my launch? All right, you have to be a little bit careful about how you word it. Now, there's a couple of extremes. There's some people who actually enjoy when you pretend that you want to be their best friend. So you spend a week making small talk with them. How are you? How are things? Great to connect with you. And then you go and you like their posts on Facebook, even if you don't actually like them. You like their posts on Facebook. You comment on their posts. You try to build some, basically fake rapport. There's other people who have more of a realist and pure business approach, who prefer that you just come straight out and say that you have a product launch that you want them to look at. And they don't like the fake friendliness. And then there's a middle ground, where some people think that you should establish some type of relationship beforehand and maybe offer something in advance, rather than, on the one hand, pretend to be a friend, or on the other hand, just come straight out and say, hey bro, promote my launch. Okay, so there's two extremes, and then there's the sort of middle ground where things are a little bit more gray. And what we're going to do is this. We're going to do a very soft pitch, a very soft exploratory message first, asking if it's okay to bug them with a JV invite. Hey John, any chance I can bug you with a JV invite for an upcoming launch? I think it would be a great fit for your list and would love if you could have a quick look when able. We'll send that. Hopefully he replies. If he doesn't, you can follow up another way later on. If he does and says, sure, send it over, you reply something like this. Great, thanks. Basically, it's a product that XYZ. Tell him about the product. I think your audience would like it because, sell him on the idea. Here's the JV page. Send them to your JV page. Plenty of swipes and promotional materials to make use of there. Let me know what you think. Now, if you're just starting out, you're probably not going to get a reply after that. It's not because they hate you. It's just the way the world works. They're busy. They've got a lot of things going on. You're not at the top of their priority list, so you might not hear back. So you'll probably have to follow up, and here's how you follow up. Hey, John, just following up here in case you've had a chance to have a look. What would it take to get the great John Thornhill on this launch? Can I offer you 65% on the main OTO? That's how you ought to be doing it. Offering something in return for them promoting your launch. Offering something special. If they're top-tier affiliates, hey, who cares if you have to give away 75% on one of the OTOs and 100% on the front end? You're getting a top-tier affiliate on your launch. Okay, so be willing to do that. But this is probably the best exploratory approach to take when cold calling, if you will, someone about a JV invite and an upcoming product launch. Now, depending on what the answers were there, I could update status and say, thinking about it, right? And then the goal here is to eventually have one long list of JVs who you are headhunting, trying to get on your launch, and over the course of about a month, you want to start about a month prior, like we talked about in the previous lesson when you're posting your launch on those notification and launch notice boards. You want to start about a month prior, and you're going to spend a month doing the grueling work of working with these guys on your headhunters list, following up with them, updating them as you get closer to the launch, reminding them to have a look, offering them incentives. Hey, can I reciprocate? Hey, can I put a bonus that leads to one of your free products, to one of your lead pages in my members area? Hey, can I stick your products in my autoresponder for day 2, 3, and 4 after people buy? That sort of thing. Put a little bit of yourself out there, offer to do something in return so that they see more value in helping you out. And if you do that right, hopefully you'll have some success with one-on-one affiliate recruiting. But be prepared. When you're first starting out, depending on what niche you're in, be prepared. You're going to get a lot of cold shoulders. That's just part of life. Don't let it get you down. Just keep moving forward. Trade up the ladder. You might only get low to mid-level affiliates on board for your first launch, and then your second product launch, you'll get some higher ones out there because your brand has more recognition now. That's just sometimes the way it works. So keep your chin up throughout the whole process. Keep hustling, trying to get those affiliates on board, and you'll be all right.